Hi everyone, my name is Emmy White. I am a first-year grad student at SUNY Brockport, but I graduated in May with my bachelor's degree from Brockport. I have a bachelor's of communication and a minor in English. I'm originally from New Hampshire, from a small town that's about 30 minutes north of Boston, and I'm on the women's gymnastics team here on campus. For this assignment, I'm working with 4 other ladies. 3 are from Brockport and 1 from Cancun, and it's been really great getting to know them. While I was doing the concept wheel, I found a lot of similarities and a lot of differences between our 2 cultures. Some of the similarities include that both countries are really pushing for equality and women's rights, which I think is fantastic. And there's a lot of positive research to show that hopefully good changes are coming our way on both sides. I also noticed, though, that there is some food quality concerns in both countries. Our neighbors in Europe do a much better job of taking care of the food that we consume, and both Mexico and the United States do not have the same regulations set in place to keep our food healthy. I also noticed that we shared a artistic push around the 60s and 70s that let urban artists come to fruition, which was really interesting that we shared that cultural push at the same time. Some differences I found were that Mexican history is so much deeper than the history in the United States. They have over 5,000 years worth of history, where we have just over 200. So they have a much, not saying a richer culture, but they have such a different cultural outlook because of their deep history. I also noticed and have had some life experience that has showed me that people in Mexico have a much greater regard for their extended family, and their extended family tends to be much closer than the extended families in the United States are. Nuclear families are the prominent idea in the United States, where in Mexico, the extended family is the root of the family unit, which I would like to explore more, to be honest. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue taking this class, and it's nice to meet everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Camila. I am from Cancun, Mexico. I am studying business innovation at Universidad del Caribe in Cancun. The 3 words that describe me are confident, diligent, and analytical. I will share my thoughts about the country of my team partners, that in this case they are from New York City in USA. I think New York is like a very modern city with yellow taxis and huge buildings with lights and all that stuff. And I think it's very different from Cancun, because here instead of having huge buildings, we have huge beaches, and the weather also is very hot. All the time is hot. We don't have like seasons of winter, autumn. No, always is summer here. What more? Now I will talk about to surface culture in USA. Maybe the celebration of 4th of July with fireworks and all that stuff. And the second is maybe that the most popular religion are Christianity. So, to deep culture in USA. I consider that the people in USA are very honest and free. So I think they have great values. And the second is that the Americans have a strongly belief in the concept of individualism, because they are very independent persons.
Okay, so this is my part of the introduction video, and for this, I'm just going to go right down the syllabus. For number 1, my name is Madeline Keys, and my major is the Childhood Inclusive MSED. And some unique characteristics about me is that I live on a horse farm, and my future goal is to start a riding team at the school that I will teach at in 2 years. And I thoroughly enjoy music and singing. When I think about the University of Caribbean, I feel like it would look dry, and it's probably pretty warm. Brockport, to me, is a small town, and I always thought that the campus would be smaller than it is, but it's pretty good size, and it has many buildings. I'm not actually from Brockport, but that's just obviously where the college is. One food that comes to mind when I think about Mexico would be churros. I like them. I've had them before. Not very adventurous, so I don't try many things, but churros is the first food that comes to mind. And one food that I like from my hometown, which I feel like is a pretty big staple around here, would be the beef on weck. And my first thoughts about the Spanish language is that I really struggled learning it throughout grade school. Even though I took it for 6 years, I do not remember much of it. And in English, our greeting would be, hello, how are you? Or something along those lines. For the surface culture, 2 of the surface culture facts that I found and that I enjoyed was that Mexico was conquered and colonized by Spain in the early 16th century, and that was on the Central Intelligence Agency from 2022. And another fact from that same agency website was that an election was held in 2000, and it marked the first time since 1910 Mexican Revolution that an opposition candidate defeated the party that was already in government. And then moving on to the deep culture facts, 2 that I found that I thought were interesting was that a grave holding up to 50 bodies is helping archaeologists piece together the fall of the Central Mayan civilization, and that was from the History in Media 2006. And then another one was that the Cancun collapse was the first major consequential north-south for the GATT or the WTO system. And that was from Sylvia of 2003. And so this is my part of the introduction, and I believe we're just going to piece together the rest of the videos for my group. Thanks.
Hi there, my name is Erica Weiss, and I am in the Instructional Design Graduates Program here at SUNY Brockport. I am currently a 4th grade teacher in a rural classroom setting in upstate New York. 3 words to describe me would be kind, genuine, and creative. In terms of our video, I want to preface our video by saying that I've never been to Mexico. I only have assumptions. So to jump right in, I believe that life in Cancun, Mexico, or the style of the environment there would be a city along the ocean. I believe that Cancun, Mexico is a tropical environment. I know this because oftentimes my friends visit Cancun, Mexico and enjoy the beaches there and the warm climate. So with that being said, I believe that Cancun, Mexico is a tourist attraction and can be highly populated. The food that is often enjoyed in Cancun, Mexico, I believe one item would be beans. Oftentimes when I go to the restaurants here in New York, beans are served alongside any of the entree items. So I'm gonna say beans are one of the food items that are popular in Mexico. Something that I like to eat often is pasta. The language that is spoke in Mexico would be Spanish. We speak English primarily here, mainly here in the United States and in New York. And one way to greet someone would be to say hello, and we often shake hands. As far as the surface culture items that I chose to describe in this video would be art. I often think of art in Mexico to be very bright, with bright colors, and then tying to the rituals that I believe are celebrated in Cancun, Mexico, such as Day of the Dead. So the art that I tend to think of is the skull and those bright colors. Then finally, we have the deep culture. I have a belief that they celebrate and appreciate the afterlife in Mexico. That also ties to the ritual of Day of the Dead. I believe that they honor their afterlife and their ancestors, and they use them, their ancestors, to guide them in life decisions. And finally, I have the roles that I believe are celebrated in Mexican culture. And the one role that I assume is that the women are the head of the households in Cancun, Mexico. So again, these could all be wrong, but they are my assumptions of life and culture in Cancun, Mexico. Thanks, bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Lauren Blair and I'm a senior at Brockport. Today I'm going to be discussing the cultural similarities and differences between the US and Mexico. Some of my differences are embedded in my similarities as well. The US and Mexico both have the same political system or system of government. The US and Mexico both elect presidents and they both have constitutions as their legal documents. Another similarity between US and Mexico is that they both share a love for sports. Each country has a different sport that is more popular to them, but they still both share that love for sport. In the US, the most common sport is football, and in Mexico, the most common sport is soccer. Both countries share a love for food. The US is often referred to as a melting pot of many different cultures. Food in the US is highly influenced by your location and the people that live in that area, so technically there's no traditional American cuisine. On the other hand, Mexican food is well known across the globe. The distinct flavors and colors is what makes Mexican cuisine so delicious. Many traditional dishes that we have in the US come from Mexico as well. Neither country has a defined language, but their most commonly used languages are different. The official language of the US is English. English is most likely going to be the first language of someone who is born and raised in the US. Then on the other hand, the official language of Mexico is Spanish, and Mexico is the most populated Spanish-speaking country. The same also goes for Mexico, so Spanish is most likely going to be the first language of someone who was also born and raised in Mexico as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Angela Jane. I have 19 years old. I'm a student international business in the Unicaribe. I am topics 1 and I speak of the cultural difference between the United States and Mexico. A good example is language of the each one. Because in the United States, its official language is English, but well in Mexico, it's Spanish, and 67 indigenous languages are also spoken. And it's all. Thank you so much. Bye.